right. Hi, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to Mind, Body, Relationship.
Wow, I did it.
You did it. And with me today is David.
Thank you.
David, how about if you tell everybody about yourself?
Well, first of all, thank you, Dr. Laurie Hill, for this invitation, and I really appreciate it. My name is David. I am Colombian. I have been in Canada for a while, like almost 20 years. What can I say? I have two wonderful kids, and so I am psychologist from Colombia, and now I did my master here in counseling psychology, and I really enjoy what I am doing, and I don't know what else can I say about me.
Well, and you have been a student at the counseling house, right?
Yes,
doing your practicum.
You are my clinical supervisor.
There you go.
So
and you are almost done.
Almost, yes. Finally.
Just like
can't believe it.
Practically done.
Yes.
Yeah. And
with
now,
your help.
There you go. And now you're actually starting up your own practice.
That is the idea, yes. And I am working on that. And so one of the things that I really appreciate is that you accept me in your practice because in that way I know how to do this by myself. So, it's a lot of things, but yeah, that is my big goal, having my own private practice, yes.
One day, good.
Hopefully.
Exactly. And today, what are we talking about?
Well, I think with this whole situation, what we are living right now, the global situation with this pandemic, I know for sure this to be at home with family, they can have some kind of a conflict sometimes, and we don't know how to resolve those conflicts. So I think that would be a good idea. We have some kind of conversation about conflict resolution. What would be the first steps to get that resolution, or to live or to have that with other people in a very balanced way and harmony way.
Sounds good. Conflict can be very difficult, can't it?
Yeah, more because it's personal, you know? It's any kind of conflict is something that has a big subjective component. It's about how you think, it's about how you filter, it's about your experience. So I think every single conflict lives in a different way and is completely different to other conflict. We can say in general, there's a family conflict, but when you see and just go deeper in there, you can find that it's very personal. It's how each person has its own filter.
So true.
Yes.
And that's why sometimes it's very, very difficult to actually really resolve conflict, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's too personal. It's just how I am, my perspective about what happened. Mm-hmm. So versus your perspective. And sometimes what really happens is we don't respect the other way that people is seeing this world, the other point of view. So that's the problem.
So true. And if it's not resolved, what happens?
Well, if it's not resolved, too many consequences can happen. We can find it. So, this something is between couples. So, unfortunately, we can find as divorce, separation, or even kids that are leaving home and just the relationship is broken. And just talking about the relationship, but what about the financial part? What about the other physical thing that is unbelievable?
So true. Like the ramifications can be immense.
Yes.
Even in the workplace, when you think about the workplace, right? And when you're sort of forced into even having to lose your job, change your job because you just can't handle the conflict.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, job and I don't know. It's just everything that can be affected.
So true.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's interesting when I am now the guest for a broadcast on Western University. This is we have a program there that right now is working for the my church.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have some time on Saturday, and I remember we were talking about conflict resolution. I was giving some kind of practical tips that people can apply.
Oh.
And one of the questions that people say, well, but you know what, David? What is the problem if doing this, I am getting what I am getting? So, for example, I said, could you give me a kind of good example? And he said, well, you know what? I am the man at home, and whatever I have to say, everybody has to do what I am asking.
Oh.
So, what is the problem? Yes. And I said, well, yeah, it's true, it's working for you, but what price you are paying for that? So people is just doing what you were saying that they have to do, but maybe because they are afraid about what can happen, the consequence. So basically, what we can bring to the community now is some tips that even just try to see how the same thing, you can get the same result, but the well-being is going to be good invest in each the person in that conflict. You can get exactly the same result, but in a better way that's just producing that kind of threat or fear in other people to do some kind of things.
Yes. So, I mean, collaborative, right?
Cooperation.
Conflict.
Yes, cooperation. Yeah, exactly. And in order to have cooperation, you have to we need two big processes: communication and trust. So if you don't get good communication and you don't get that everybody is trusting in the process, so how you are going to expect to have good cooperation? So
exactly. Very, very important, right? So what is the first step?
Well, I think the first step is what I usually say to my clients, and what I am telling this community through the program that we have in the Western, is we need to establish a good rapport.
A good rapport.
Yes. A great one. So the big question is, what is that, and how can you establish a good rapport?
Exactly.
Yeah. So a rapport has some kind of big key elements. So one of those is to be present in that moment. Some people is just, and now with this situation with tablets and cell phone and crimes, we assume that we are listening, but that's not true, because
we're listening to many things.
Yeah, physically we are there, but mentally and cognitively we are in another place. So we need to be present in that moment. And that means we need to listen very carefully what the other person is saying. We need to listen with our heart, from our heart. So it's just not like, oh yeah, sure, I am here, I am just looking at you. But no, it's just open your heart and just trying to understand what the other person wants to say.
I see. So basically, setting everything aside.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then directing yourself at the person who's now just said something.
Yeah.
They're upset about something, right?
Yeah.
And to be actually very interested.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually have a practical exercise about being present.
Okay.
I don't know. It's too cool. I don't know.
Okay.
So that's my advice. Anytime when you try to solve any conflict at the moment, just my suggestion is only take 30 seconds. So the first thing that you have to do is just breathe, being very relaxed in any place that you choose.
Okay.
And the first thing is just put your hand on the top of your head.
Okay.
And just there, just have a couple of good breaths. And then, after 15 seconds, you take your left one and put it on the top of your head. And again, do exactly the same process. 15 seconds, breathing deeply. "15 seconds, 30 seconds. What happened there? We are trying to have balance in our brain. So that means the left and the right brain, at that point, they are in balance. When we have imbalance and we are present in that moment, we have a good moment to start having a good conversation.
It's so true, isn't it? Right? Because the first thing that happens is people stop breathing.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's very, very important.
Exactly. So someone says something and then all of a sudden it's like,
yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And then the next thing that happens is that you have that feeling inside. This is conflict.
Yep.
Right? For some people, they start to make fists. Other people, they feel it in their head.
Yes.
Some people, it's like their stomach starts to go like that, right? Yeah, just
so
like
you
that.
need oxygen.
Exactly.
You don't have there.
Nope.
So
How can you talk if you don't have any air?
So that's a good exercise. Being present there, you know, is being aware what's around you, being in that moment, and so that's a cool exercise.
Very good.
30 seconds,
exactly.
and you can do it.
Okay, so someone said something. So now I've put my things down. I'm looking at them. I'm very interested, and I'm paying attention to my breathing, engaging my breathing, calm my system.
So now, what is next?
Yes, what is next?
Well, if you had that moment and you are aware and being mindful where you are, so the next step that would be you need to identify what is the intention that you have in order to talk with that person that you need to resolve that conflict.
Okay.
If you don't have clear what is your intention, because maybe you want to communicate just only something, inform about something, or you just need, hey, you know what, just I need that you listen to me, my feeling, just only listen, that's it. But you need to communicate that intention, because remember, it's a big difference between intention and impact. Some people say, well, you know what, I said this, but my intention was completely different, but the impact about your words were completely in opposite direction.
Right.
So we need to identify the intention, and we need to let my communicator partner, I don't know how can I communication, I don't know how can I call this is my intention about what I want to say.
Okay.
So we need to have an intention, because if we don't know where we are going, so we are going probably to spend a lot of time, and we are not going to get any good outcome after that. So we need a good intention on what we need to say.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds very interesting. Yeah. So how would a person do that?
Well, I would say that's need to know what happened, what is the situation that is bringing that couple, the family, or the group who is in conflict at that situation. Identify that.
Okay.
And basically is to know, okay, instead of that problem, what you really want. Is just ask that question. Instead of having this fight or discussing about this, what you really want. Instead of that, ask that question. Instead of having this, that I am tired, I don't want to keep this in my life, what you really want. So when you know what you want, that's part of your goal, where you want to go. Okay. And then, you know, that's my intention.
Right.
What I am expecting from that conversation, maybe just expressing my feeling, that's it.
Okay.
Or just maybe because I am going to request as activity something about this situation that needs to change. Yes?
Yeah.
And remember, all the time when you talk with your partner, the good communication, because the idea is to establish a good communication between my partner or the communication partner, is just to know that anytime when you want to express your feeling, has to be with the famous I statement.
Oh, the famous I.
I feel that this and this and this. So you need to describe your feeling, how you are feeling about this, and then what you are planning or what you are expecting or what is the idea, what need to be changed.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh,
and always in a personal way.
Yeah.
What else? Respect and appreciation. You know, it's we need to understand that reality is very interesting, because reality, each of us, exactly the same situation that is there in front of us, we are perceiving that reality in a different way.
Right.
Because we have different filter, different experience. Reality, you know, is built according to the social construct that we have.
Right.
Language, yes. Culture,
yes.
Spirituality,
everything.
So it's good to understand the other person, why that person is thinking that way about something that I perceive in different way. So that would be great if I am there present, if I am listening very carefully, I am reflecting what that person is saying at that moment with I understand. So I'm giving the time to the person to express That would be a great idea. They, before talking, they can have like an agenda and say, well, what about if anytime when I express or I talk, just give me that time after what I have to say. So it's your turn. That would be great too. Have that kind of order in the conversation.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh.
Having an intention, knowing where you want to go. Understand that the other person is maybe observing or perceiving the situation in a different way. Do you remember that exercise? Not as exercise, but the typical meme that we sometimes find that the number 9 is on the floor and somebody is in that looking at the number 9 and the other person is on the other side that say that is number 6. And no, but I can see this is number 6. No, then and the big conflict is there because I don't want to be only for 1 second in the other shoes.
Right.
So I said, wow, yeah, I need to understand that.
That's very good. So, and that's what's really important about being very interested.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
you're listening, you're very interested, and you're finding out more information while you're breathing and keeping your system calm.
Yes.
Yeah. And then finding out, well, what is the expectation? Right? Right? And then to resolve it based upon that.
And respect and appreciate any single word that you can get from that person at that moment is a big triumph for you, because finally that person is expressing, is saying something. And sometimes we find that we have a big conflict, but we don't know what that person is have there in his mind or her mind. So anytime when you finally find the moment that person is expressing, even if it doesn't express in the best way, but obviously at the beginning, remember, we are going to have this conversation in the best respectful way, but if for any reason that happens, remember, you are the only one who can control your reaction. 100%. So if that person for any reason doesn't want to control that is not your problem, but you can control your reaction. But at least even if that person yell or not in the best way, but is expressing something, is saying something that most likely that person didn't say before.
Well, there you go. The goal is for it to be a win-win, right?
That is the goal.
Yes.
Win-win.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Porterfield. Yeah, it's a win-win relationship.
Yeah.
And that win-win relationship, that means that anytime when I feel that our needs are met without thinking that somebody is just losing or is a big loser there. So I know we are working in the same direction, cooperation, because we have a good communication, and besides that, we trust in the process. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a lose-lose. Hopefully no, but we have to be in the same page.
Well, exactly.
No,
yes.
I win, you lose. No.
Exactly. Well, thank you, David. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Well, I hope that was helpful for, I know for sure there's a lot of people right now, because this is taking more people in the world with the podcast and the technology, and I know we are missing Esmeralda now, so hopefully next time she's going to be here.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Francois Hill, for having me here, and hopefully I could say something very productive and positive for everybody.
All right. Well, thank you so much, David, and thank you for joining us. And please, reach out, email us any questions if you'd like to get in contact with David or anything, and subscribe, and bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
Well, welcome everybody. And today we have been talking to David. And so now what David is going to be doing is David's going to be taking it away and conducting the interview all by himself. En español.
En español. Bueno, mil gracias por estar con nosotros. Anteriormente estuvimos hablando en inglés, estuvimos hablando sobre resolución de conflictos. Ahora, para toda la comunidad que habla español, les informo, estoy en The Counseling House. Es un sitio donde van a encontrar consejeros espectaculares que saben sobre el tema, que tienen varios modelos teóricos y ese queda para su información. Después pueden mirar cuando se suscriban, pero es en la 111 Waterloo Street y pueden mirarlo en la website. Ahí va a estar la dirección para que nos contacten y puedan estar en algún tipo de terapia con nosotros. Con muchísimo gusto estamos allá para atenderlos. La doctora Ponsford Hill me está dando la oportunidad de poderme dirigir a ustedes y hablar un poco sobre qué cosas pueden ser útiles para la comunidad. Lo que estábamos hablando ahora era la resolución de conflictos. Y la resolución de conflictos básicamente es estar presentes en el momento, tener la intención sobre resolver el conflicto, tener una meta muy clara y respetar a la otra persona y tomar ejercicios de respiración que le va a permitir a ustedes poder llevar una conversación de la mejor manera posible. Así que todo ese tipo de tips también los podemos hablar, contáctenos y les podemos ayudar en lo que es la resolución de conflictos. La doctora Ponsford Hill es experta es una mediadora y también les puede ayudar muchísimo. Así que no duden en buscarnos en la website, en la suscripción, ahí está todos los datos.
All right.
I explained to you and the community about what they can find on the counseling house, and one of the things that's for conflict resolution, you are one of the expert mediator, and so they can find you and other professionals that can help in to resolve some kind of conflict.
Sounds good. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, David.
No, gracias a ustedes y espero que nos sigan viendo. Un abrazo.
Gracias. Adiós.